Thanks, Morgan. It's great to hear from you too! Exclamation.
I so appreciate your help.
It looks great, and I'm excited to see this idea come to fruition. No, I was not really that excited, but it sure sounds like it.
Exclamation points. Love them or hate them, they're everywhere, especially in your work email. And more often than not, they're in emails from women. One study from 2006 found that 73% of all exclamations were made by women and 27% by men. It also found that women use exclamation points more than men in emails to seem more friendly and expressive. But why do women feel the need to do that at work? And should women use the peppy punctuation mark less? We spoke with a few noted female business leaders and asked them to read their emails. Scratch that. Read their emails.
Thank you, Kate. I'm also very excited about this news. It was great to run into you the other day at the conference. I didn't really mean it that way. Thank you, Kate. I'm also very excited about this news. It was great to run into you the other day at the conference. That sounds boring.
So, why did I use the thanks, Morgan, it's great to hear from you too? Because I know Morgan. He has a big ego and he likes to be appreciated. He's like the big man on campus, so I have to be happy to hear from him.
This is one to my editor who had just sent me the interior design for my next mystery. And I really loved it. And I'm almost embarrassed to say that I wrote, I love it, with 4 exclamation points. And to me, that was, I love it, as opposed to just, I love it. And I wanted her to see how crazy I was about it. I was afraid just a period wouldn't suffice.
All our panelists agreed. They use exclamation points to seem
warm,
enthusiastic,
friendlier.
The other commonality? The expectations are different for men and women.
The more powerful a man is in business, the less punctuation they use. In fact, some of the most powerful men I've communicated with don't even bother to put a period at the end. Men aren't trying to please. Women are trying to please and make you feel cozy and good just to read their email, and it's a terrible idea.
There are studies that show that women are expected to be friendly and nurturing in a workplace. And when we are not, we can be penalized for that in our reviews, penalized for coming across as too aggressive or too harsh.
And according to the 2018 Women in the Workplace study by leanin.org and McKinsey, there are reasons for women to be concerned. 31% of women said they needed to provide more evidence of their competence than others. 29% said they thought their gender would make it harder for them to get a raise, promotion, or chance to get ahead. Linguist Robin Lakoff, who's been studying the writing differences between men and women for 40 years, explained that women really walk a fine line with the way they communicate.
If women use these things, well, then they're flibberty gibbets, then they're not making sense, then all they're doing is being agitated and, so they shouldn't use them. But then if they don't use them, well, then they're the very bad 5-letter B word.
So is the answer fewer exclamation points? Depends on who you ask and when you plan to use them.
My advice to women is lean into the punctuation. Don't be afraid of adding it. In the end, you're going to be understood better, and that's a good thing.
When I get an email from a woman who uses a lot of exclamation points, I assume she's insecure. I assume she's a poor communicator. I make the assumption that she is going to ask me for something she doesn't expect to get because she's trying so hard. It diminishes your power if you're a woman and using exclamation points. You're far better off with the simple period.
But Corcoran did think they were okay in one particular type of communication.
If you're trying to have a subordinate do a task that you as the boss don't think they're going to be happy about, if you just lay it out, I want you to do this, it sounds cold and heartless. If you lay it out differently and say, I know you're not going to be that happy to hear this, but, and you get an exclamation point at the end of it, people take it better and they don't think that you are lacking the appreciation for the position they're in, which is they don't want to do it. That's all my advice. Emoji, what do they call emojis? Emojis? It's such a long word for such a little thing. I just wondered, okay.